blood on the stone. This mother mouth is open. The soldier lifts his arm. A child so tiny it could fit in one hand is falling. But there are no armies here. It doesn't seem a battle to me. Just men with weapons. Why would anyone paint something so unsettling? Did it really happen, or was the painter simply disturbed? This painting has haunted viewers for centuries. It is hard to look at it for long, so macabre that no one figured out, for 400 years, that it was a Rubens. In 1923, an Austrian woman faced a haunting inheritance. She received a painting that filled her with terror and disgust. So much so, she refused to keep it in her home or anywhere tied to her family. Imagine inheriting something so unsettling that you'd rather part with it than face it daily. She decided it wasn't worth much, and she gave it to a monastery. The monks took it, but maybe out of disgust and horror, they left it in a dark hallway. The painting sat there for around 90 years. In all that darkness and dust, it was dismissed as the work of a mere student of Rubens. Then, in 2001, a guy from Sotheby showed up at the monastery with a flashlight, ready to check it out in that dark corridor. He is an authority on Flemish and Swedish painting. As he examined the artwork, the light finally revealed indistinguishable details. X-rays were conducted, revealing a startling truth: that haunting and eerie painting, left to languish in a shadowy corridor for 100 years, was a forgotten masterpiece by Rubens. Stand in front of it now and you understand immediately why it spent 80 years in a dark hallway. There is no breathing room in this canvas. Rubens fills every inch with bodies locked into each other. Arms with arms, hands with hands, faces pressed against flesh. The composition is a knot you cannot untangle. At the centre, a soldier holds a child by one leg, the child inverted and dangling. The face is obscured and dark, with either blood or the agony of a scream. It's a haunting image that leaves you questioning the reality of the situation. Around this central axis, 3 other scenes unfold at once. A woman biting the arm of a soldier who is trying to tear her infant away. Her teeth are visible, her jaw is locked. To the left, a lifeless child lies on the ground. Her mother, broken and defeated, curls around the child. She is unable to shield what she has lost. On the other side, a soldier raises his weapon while a desperate woman fights back with her bare hands. Here, her nails leave marks on his face, a futile struggling against overwhelming force. The women fight. Rubens doesn't portray them as passive victims. They bite, scratch, drag, and refuse to back down. But here's the reality: they're fighting armoured men with nothing but their bare hands. Rubens, a master who studied corpses and understood the body under extreme stress, makes one thing clear: the outcome is inevitable. But the question remains: did such a cruel event really happen? And if so, why? The children are not symbolic infants. They have fat at their wrists where the flesh bunches. Their feet are the feet of children who learned to walk recently, wide, soft, still finding balance. When a soldier grips a child by the ankle, you can see the joint give under the pressure. When a child is held upside down, the face flushes. Rubens knew exactly what happens to a body under force, and he paints it. He understood this intimately. He captured the tension, the struggle, and the vulnerability of the human body in his art. Each brushstroke reveals how force affects us, both physically and emotionally. There's a detail in Rubens' work that most people overlook. In every depiction of this scene by artists like Giotto, Poussin, Bruegel, and Guido Reni, angels are present. They gather souls, carry children upward, and provide theological reassurance that suffering has meaning. But Rubens paints no angels. The sky remains empty. This choice raises profound questions about his beliefs. Why would a master of Baroque art choose to exclude these celestial beings in such a tragic scene? Rubens presents a raw depiction of despair, Focusing solely on the innocent victims and their tormentors, by omitting angels, he challenges us to confront the harsh truths of our world without divine intervention or comfort. His deliberate choices create a visual language that speaks to viewers on multiple levels. For example, Rubens understood how colours could evoke feelings and convey messages. His reds? Think about it. Those reds are almost brown and resemble blood after it settles. The flesh of mothers and children glows against deep shadow, illuminated by an unseen source. It is as if the light emanates from within their very beings, rather than from any point in the world they inhabit. The soldier's armour catches that same light and throws it back cold. At the centre left, a woman in a blood-red dress is falling backward, pulled down by the weight of another woman collapsing against her. Her dress is the most saturated thing in the painting. Rubens put it there deliberately, a red so vivid it reads almost as a wound in the composition itself. The most disturbing part of this painting? The soldiers' faces. They show no malice, just the intense focus of men doing a job that demands physical effort. One looks down at what he is holding with the focus of a craftsman working a difficult material. Another has his head wrenched back, but by the hands of a woman clawing at his face. His expression, what you can see of it, is effort, resistance. And nobody, not one figure in the entire canvas, is looking at you. Rubens made a bold choice. In a time when painters often invited the viewer into the scene, through a glance, a plea, or even just the acknowledgement of an onlooker, Rubens did the opposite. His figures are consumed by their own world. No one looks out, no one notices you. The painting doesn't ask for your sympathy, nor your action. You are outside, a spectator to something inevitable. The scene continues, with or without you. Was this an intentional way to make us feel powerless, complicit? Perhaps both. Rubens left no explanation, but it's a striking reminder of how art can confront us, not by including us, but by leaving us out entirely. So, we get to the question that's really stuck with me. Did this actually happen? This scene is from the Gospel of Matthew. King Herod, who's been in charge of Judea for a long time and wants to stay in power, gets a visit from some astrologers coming from the east. They're following a star that they think shows the birth of a kid who'll be the future king of the Jews. Herod tells them to let him know when they find the child, so he can go pay his respects too. Meanwhile, in Bethlehem, there's a boy, probably just a baby, who, if the prophecy is right, will one day take everything Herod has built. So he gives an order. Every male child in Bethlehem, 2 years old and under, all of them. The reasoning is cold and straightforward. If that child is among them, he'll die with the rest. The others are what people in power have always called, in one way or another, an acceptable loss. This painting spent 80 years hidden in an Austrian monastery corridor. Now, it's behind glass in Toronto, climate-controlled and lit perfectly, insured for sums unimaginable to the woman who found it too horrible to look at. Since 2008, millions have stood before it. Yet, there's something profound about its long concealment. It seems to have understood the impact it could have on those who truly looked. The old woman hid it away because she couldn't bear to face it. Rubens, instead, dedicated his life to questioning why. The rest of us can.